Welcome back to Executive Production on Base. This is Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. I'm Sweets, this is CY, and this is our bi-weekly call where we chat about in-process, executive production in general, and other things that we've been working on in the on-chain music, on-chain art space. CY, how you doing today?
I'm feeling great, thank you.
Today we want to try to cover three things. Last time we talked, you gave me a lot of feedback on notifications and payments. So I want to just check if all that feedback I've made meets your satisfaction. Then we'll go on to Connect Profile, the feature I'm actively building out for in-process, to hear where your mind's at with it and making sure that I'm not building out something that's going to wreck your experience as a creator and collector on in-process. And if we have time, I've been buying some nouns. I noticed that you've bought some nouns. Would love to talk to you a little bit about nounish stuff. Does that sound okay with you?
That sounds great. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Would you mind sharing your screen and whichever flavor you'd prefer to look at first, either the notifications or the payments? Let's check out the changes that we've made.
Yeah, let me share the screen. Then let's open a new window and go with, oh my goodness, this is not what I expect to show offhand. See all my Wordle scores. Yeah, the sharing screen thing is always kind of touchy for me because I really have to close down into a sterile environment. Let's see. Let me break out another. I'm gonna choose as a. Yeah, hold on. You know what? I do not feel good about sharing my screen with my laptop in its current configuration right now. So
if you're not comfy, I can share. The last thing I want to do is make you uncomfortable. Okay, if I drive?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. So I'll go into share screen. We'll look at the features from my side and you can give me some feedback. Out of payments and notifications, do you have a preferred flavor to start with?
Let's go with notifications.
Copy. Also, quick shout out. This is the first time I'm seeing we crossed 3,000 moments on in process. So new milestone achieved.
Excellent.
Notifications. Here's the latest changes to notifications. On your side, do you remember the feedback you gave last time, and can you kind of shout out some of the things that you noticed are different from the last time you saw it?
Yes, it's a lot more concise. I love that the notifications have a specific date tied in with transaction as just a link. They can dig in deeper. It looks very coherent as a chronology. Yeah, no, I like simplicity. This is very clearly a role of what's happened recently. So this is good.
No more 0x's, no more block numbers, trying to make it much more human readable. And if you really want to dig in, you can. But other than that, it looks much more like normal social media notifications. Any feedback on here on how it can be better? For now, you're happy. Let's wrap it up and keep moving on.
No, I think this is a perfect state to leave it in. There's always room to iterate, but like that, this is in the state it's in. I think it's a great step above where it was before.
Cool. Notifications good. We now go over to payments. We have updated the design of the manage page to match Laura's new designs. I know she has not. She's adamantly told me I cannot be implementing her designs, but I took a leap of faith and just built out one of the designs. So we now on your manage page have an account tab, a payment tab, and a moments tab. We will focus on the payment tab. So this similar changes as the other one. However, as I'm noticing here, I'm seeing a lot of buyer 0x addresses instead of names, when I know some of these profiles should have names associated with them. I'll pause and toss it over to you. Do you see any differences on here? Or what are your current thoughts on the payments table?
This is good. I feel like there's something as feedback, something mildly alarming about seeing things in red, as it usually implies that there's a problem. And in this case, it's not a problem since you intentionally paid. So I
Yep.
feel like as a more neutral tally, just showing the amount that was paid out, um, is it just is a positive or negative number is probably the right vibe.
Make the color more neutral. Red is
Yep.
alarming. Change it to something that doesn't create an alarming sensation for something that's totally expected.
Right. Yep. 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 This is less of a, I mean, it can be parsed as a ledger, but I feel like payments is a celebration of how you're putting money into culture and getting back, artifacts.
Yep. Other than the red color, I also am seeing the 0x address we still want to fix. Other than those two, anything else on the payments, or that one also good to go?
I think this is great.
Okay. Okay, so we've looked at notifications and payments, the two features that we released 2 weeks ago. You gave us feedback on 2 weeks ago, and now only a couple tiny things that we'll clean up on the edges. But our main focus now is on only signing in with email and giving the ability to connect to wallet. So the only sign in with email is easy to grok. Right here's an email field. So only allowing people to use this email field. We should be offering the rest of them. I've updated Privy to the latest version. So anybody
Mhm.
that having issues connecting, hopefully it improves. I'm not seeing the connect wallet button, which is surprising. Wondering if someone on my team deployed something that I wasn't ready for. Okay, right now I'm only seeing email sign-in. So this is where we're building towards.
Yep.
Sign in with email. Whatever device you're on, it's going to be the same experience. You enter in the code that you get in your email, and from there you are signed into an account. You should then be able to go over to your manage page. And when we updated this, we also removed the button that I just added. But how I was building it out is I made a button in here called Connect Wallet, and when you click it,
Mhm.
it allows you to connect a wallet using Privy. The blocker I hit building out that prototype is Privy only allows you to connect your external wallet to one account.
I see.
That is not sufficient for us because if CY is using the mini app, he has one address and he's going to want to connect that to cxy.eth. If he's on his desktop and he signs in with his email, he then wants to connect his email account to cxy.eth. If he's on the base app, maybe he has an additional account and he wants to connect that account to cxy.eth. Right now, Privy does not support that. Only one of those could be connected to cxy.eth. And
I
if you've
see.
already signed in with cxy.eth, you then could not connect your email account. So we can't use the official Privy library and their supported methods to link an account, which means that we have to build it out. So where I'm leaning towards now is we create a new table in Supabase called Artist Smart Wallets. And then if you're on your base app, you sign in, you connect it to cxy.eth. That's one record in the Artist Smart Wallets table associated with CXY's artist profile. Same thing on Farcaster. When you sign in with your email, you'll get a smart wallet from Privy. Each of those will be a row, which links to your artist table of cxy.eth. The first question I have for you is on the experience. Originally, I was building this out. You click Connect Wallet, it opens up your wallet, and then you have to sign in with that wallet, which means that we are still relying on you have your wallet handy, you can connect to it. Hopefully that you're not trying to do it across the desktop and a mobile and there's issues with that.
Right.
That's the current route. The other option is we follow the search bar route up top. When you try to connect, it opens up a search bar. You type in the existing profile that you want to connect. It shows up. You connect it. You connect an existing profile like that. Or if you want to just put in a manual address, you go over to your wallet, you copy your wallet address, and then you manually paste in the wallet address. No signing, just search for an existing profile or put in an address. Out of those two options, CY, you have to sign, you have to connect your wallet, verify that you own that wallet, and that's the only way to connect versus search bar, I can search for an existing account. I can put in a wallet address. There's no signing, no need to connect my wallet. Which method do you think is the best human experience that you want to build in process towards out of those two? Or a third that I haven't considered?
Yeah, this is challenging because it's a migration, and migrations are always tough. Like new users don't have to deal with this if they're just coming into Privy. So it really comes down to what is the easiest to explain, where I think we have to give people a heads up that there's this transform happening, and then there's got to be some simple instructions of like what to do in order to connect the wallet you want associated with the smart wallet that's generated on your behalf. Um, I mean, honestly, both of them sound contorted in sort of the, we just said it's a verbal description, but it's like, it's not something you could just be like, hey, just do this and then connect it and then bam. There's complexity.
Right.
I would essentially, and are the two mutually exclusive in the implementation, or is there one easier to implement and then we can try the other one afterwards if we feel like the easier one is not easy to use?
They're both about the same level of build. And I think you're right, asking what's the easiest to explain to the artists. When you talk, I think, with a lot more artists who you onboard to in process, which do you feel, the majority of the artists you're talking to, do they have an existing profile on Zora or on ENS? They do? Okay, so
Yeah.
What do you think would be the easiest to explain to these artists that you talk to on a regular basis?
I think asking someone to go through a search to find something is a pretty heavy lift unless you're just talking them through it.
Okay.
So given that I would imagine a lot of the times that, we would communicate this through writing in an email, or it might be in the DMs if people are asking, what's going on here. The initial method sounds like it's a little more constrained in terms of like, here's steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would try that first and see how it feels.
Connect wallet button. You then connect your wallet, sign with your wallet, links like that.
Yep.
Copy. That will be our first take implementation and connect wallet. So that's my first question on how people will connect. Now, you've had questions in our Telegram regarding, if I connect my wallet, where do things go when I collect? Where do things go when I create? Can you talk me through where your head's at and what your concerns are with this migration from the current sign-in of connecting a wallet to only signing in with email? What concerns do you have?
Yeah, if we think about it from the top, like thematically, we're trying to make Web3 an abstraction in process, so that, for all intents and purposes, someone comes into in process and uses it like they would any other website where content is being posted and collected. Think Bandcamp. And so in this case, my concern is for anyone who's been using it so far and who has an existing wallet where they've already collected things, like this should be aggregated into it. And if I zoom way out, this may be a temporary problem because in the future, it might just be there's a virtual space where all the wallets I've ever used, I connect together. I can say these are all CWise wallets. And if I want to visualize them, whatever I'm using to visualize it aggregates everything across wallets. And it's like not needing to know what servers your data is hosted on. There's just a reliable view where you can come in and see all your data. So in this case, right now, we're in that awkward stage where the abstraction is not complete. We still have to deal with the rough edges. So my near-term concern is I like the cleanness of having everything live in the CXY wallet, which is literally a specific wallet. So when I collect, I want it to be attributed. I want the things to be aggregated there. And, again, if we zoom out, this is a now problem and not a future problem, where I should be able to see a portfolio of everything I own across all the wallets I have control over, where I'm just me and not necessarily at CXY. But right now, in the world of Web3 and internet, that's where I want everything to be centralized. So, Yeah, for now, I want to be able to have people who still relate very deeply with that original wallet they'd set up with the ENS address to be able to stick everything they collect into that wallet and not have it like, oh, it's in some smart wallet that I forget how to access or something to that effect.
Copy. So the goal is everything that you're creating and everything that you're collecting goes into your cxy.eth wallet. If you check it out on OpenSea, all that stuff's in your wallet, everything that you've collected, everything that you've
Right,
purchased. There's not some additional smart wallet that you have to look up on OpenSea to find specific things.
right.
Ideally, even though we're going through this migration, when you sign in with your email, you still want everything, all the activity that you're doing on in process to show up on cxy.eth, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. And you know, on the flip side, if I want to collect something, if I have to transfer funds from outside into it, I know which wallet to put the funds into in order to pay for the thing that I'm going to collect.
Adding funds is also a very good point. Which this is not something that we built out yet, and I'm actually curious if Laura's even built out designs for it.
Mhm.
For adding funds, I believe Zora does both. You can send funds and you can buy with credit card, and then the buy with credit card opens up a Coinbase checkout, and adding funds gives you a wallet address that you copy and send. Do you
Mhm.
like that dual route of giving both the options? Do you lean towards one or the other? What's your ideal method of adding funds into the smart wallet here on in process?
In my case, I have a reservoir of funds that I deploy out that I transfer into the wallet when I want to buy things.
Mhm.
So I'd like to not have to come up with a new way of doing that. Generally speaking, I prefer not to use my credit card to purchase things. But I also understand that by and large, that's how we expect everyone who's kind of coming on board who's not Web3 to participate, because that's what we all do. You know, in the ideal world, you just come on board and you Apple Pay a bunch of artifacts that really speak to you from artists that you believe in.
Mhm. I agree. Oh, CY shared a screen. I don't think you
Oh,
were
did I?
trying to share the screen though, so I'm not
No,
gonna
that
highlight it.
okay. We'll get the infinite mirror effect if we do that.
I know it's time for our next meeting with in process, the whole team. Is there anything we haven't covered so far today that you want to cover up before we wrap up?
Nope, that's good. We'll cover it in 2 weeks.